bitch!
That meltdown? Yeah, that might be exactly how Diddy's reacting in his cell right now. Word is Justin Bieber just teamed up with Cassie, and their unexpected alliance is shaking up Diddy's already crumbling legal defense. What they just did might be the move that seals his fate and keeps him locked up for good. Let's get into it. The Cassie bombshell. Now listen, if you've been living under a rock or your Wi-Fi has been struggling harder than Diddy's defense team, let me catch you up real quick. Diddy is currently locked up, facing some serious charges, including sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. The trial started on May 12, 2025 in New York City and has been serving up more shocking moments than a Tyler Perry finale, for real. At the center of this legal hurricane is Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend who dated him on and off from 2007 to 2018. This woman has been through IT, y'all. And when I say it, I mean the kind of trauma that would make even the strongest person crumble. But Cassie? Nah, she ain't crumbling. She's testifying. Cassie first filed a civil lawsuit against Diddy in November 2023, accusing him of physical abuse and forcing her into intimate encounters with male escorts during what he called freak-offs. That lawsuit was settled in just 24 hours for a reported $20 million. But that was just the beginning, because now she's the star witness in the federal criminal case against him. For 4 days, May 13th through May 16th, 2025, Cassie sat on that witness stand, spilling tea that was so hot it could melt steel. The courtroom was shook as she detailed years of alleged physical and psychological abuse, control, and coercion from a man who was supposed to love her, not terrorize her.
I don't know if that's possible once you see that video of him putting his hands on Cassie Ventura. And for her to be the one to testify, and for her to be the one testifying on behalf of the prosecution, considering the fact that she was his lady, considering the fact that reportedly, she engaged in activities she otherwise would not have wanted to at the behest of him. When you consider some of the things that they're saying about him, and the fact that your ex-girl, with all the evidence in the world to come at you, one would surmise, is willing to do so for the prosecution. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not good.
Not good? That's the understatement of the century. This is catastrophic for Diddy. Imagine your ex coming to court with receipts longer than a CVS receipt after you buy a single chapstick. That's Cassie right now, and Diddy's whole empire is crumbling because of it. Let's break down some of what Cassie revealed during her testimony, because it's truly the stuff of nightmares. She described how Diddy began physically abusing her within the first year of their relationship, with incidents that were too many to count. Y'all, that's not a relationship. That's a hostage situation. One of the most damning pieces of evidence is that 2016 surveillance video from the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles that shows Diddy dragging, kicking, and punching Cassie in a hallway. The footage was released by CNN in 2024, and it's absolutely horrifying to watch. In her testimony, Cassie said she sustained a fat lip and bruises from that attack, which apparently happened after she tried to leave one of these so-called freak-offs. Now let's talk about these freak-offs for a minute. According to Cassie's testimony, these were essentially intimate gatherings that Diddy orchestrated, involving male escorts. She was allegedly forced to participate while Diddy watched and recorded. The whole thing sounds like something out of a horror movie, except it was Cassie's real life. In the Fall of Diddy docuseries, a makeup artist who worked for both Diddy and Cassie described witnessing the aftermath of Diddy's violence. She said after one incident, Cassie had knots on her head, bruised eye, busted lip. It was so bad that they were afraid to call the police or go to the hospital. Just imagine being so terrified of someone that you can't even seek medical help after they've beaten you. That's the level of control and fear we're talking about.
And she details the first time she alleged she saw Puff put his hands on Cassie. Let's take a listen.
Puff and Cassie were dating. There was a party, and she was staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel. I fall asleep on the couch because I don't go out, and he storms in. Where the is she? I wake up all of a sudden like who? And then they go into the room, shuts the door. All I hear is get the out of here, get the out of here. He's on a rage. He's being Puff. I'm packing her stuff up. Once he leaves, I see the aftermath on Cassie. She has knots on her head, bruised eye, busted lip. It was horrific. And so all I can think of was, we need to get back to my house. You need to get the out of here. We can't call the police. We can't go to the hospital. We're scared of Puff.
But Cassie wasn't the only witness dropping bombs on Diddy. Dawn Richard, a former member of Danity Kane and Diddy Dirty Money, took the stand on May 16th to corroborate Cassie's claims. She testified about witnessing Diddy attack Cassie in 2009 at his Los Angeles mansion, describing how he hit her in the head and beat her on the ground. Y'all, when someone's former employees and bandmates are coming forward with stories like this, you know there's a pattern. And it doesn't stop there. A Homeland Security security agent named Yasin Binder testified about the September 2024 search of Diddy's Park Hyatt hotel room, where authorities seized all kinds of suspect items: $9,000 in cash, ketamine, MDMA, multiple bottles of baby oil, and a mood lighting device. I mean, that hotel room was set up like a whole crime scene waiting to happen. Now, Diddy's defense team is trying their best to spin this narrative. They're portraying Ventura as a willing participant in these freak-offs and suggesting that her accusations are motivated by financial gain. During cross-examination, they highlighted explicit text messages from 2016 where Ventura appeared to plan a freak-off with Combs. But Cassie ain't backing down. She maintained that her participation was coerced through fear and manipulation, and even stated that she would return the $20 million settlement if she could erase the experiences. Can you blame her? Money can't heal trauma, period. And the kind of trauma Cassie described on the stand, that's the type that stays with you forever. She testified about being forced to participate in these encounters even when she was sick, menstruating, or had a urinary tract infection. She felt humiliated and disgusted, but felt she had no choice because Diddy allegedly threatened violence or to release the recorded videos if she refused. It's beyond sad. It's downright disturbing. And the fact that Cassie has the strength to get on that stand and recount all of this trauma in front of the world, that takes a kind of courage that most of us will never understand. But this is just the beginning of our deep dive into this explosive story. Next, we're going to talk about how Justin Bieber fits into all of this and why his recent statement has Diddy seeing red from behind bars. The young pop star's connection to this whole scandal is way more complex than you might think, and the resurfaced videos of him with Diddy from years ago have many people concerned. The Bieber connection. So let's rewind to the late 2000s. Justin Bieber was just a baby-faced teenager with floppy hair and dreams of becoming a superstar. Enter Sean Diddy Combs, a music mogul who took an interesting interest in the young talent. Their relationship began around 2008 to 2009 when Bieber was just 15 years old, having been introduced through Usher, who by the way was mentored by Diddy himself back in the day. Now, in light of the current allegations against Diddy, people are revisiting these early interactions with a much more critical eye. And honestly, the vibes are giving major creep alert. One of the most talked about clips is from a 2009 YouTube video titled Justin Bieber's 48 HRS with Diddy. In this video, Diddy, who was about 40 at the time, describes spending 48 hours with 15-year-old Bieber as a 15-year-old's dream and says they're going to go buck full crazy. He even claims to have custody of Bieber for the weekend, referencing his past guardianship of Usher.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like you know, where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go buck full crazy.
I'm sorry, what? We can't really disclose what they're doing. Buck full crazy with a 15-year-old kid? That's giving more red flags than a communist parade. Imagine if some 40-year-old man was saying this about spending time with a 15-year-old girl. The police would be at his door faster than you can say Chris Hansen. But the creep factor doesn't stop there. Another video from 2010 shows Diddy giving Bieber a Letterman jacket and questioning why they haven't been hanging out. Bieber appears visibly uncomfortable, stammering that Diddy hadn't called him and offering his phone number.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh?
No,
you ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But you never really got my number, so.
Right, okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Does that look like a comfortable teen to you? Bieber is squirming like a kid who got called to the principal's office. The body language is screaming discomfort. Then there's that infamous 2011 appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live where Diddy described Bieber as a little brother and made some questionable comments. When Bieber mentioned a promised Lamborghini, Diddy quipped that Bieber knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. Excuse me, what things exactly is he referring to that can't be mentioned on TV?
You come down, you gotta, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
He had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television. Oh, apparently not. Everything ain't for everybody.
Everything ain't for everybody. Yeah, especially not underage kids, Diddy. The way he's talking about Bieber like he's some sort of possession is seriously disturbing. Fast forward to 2024, and these videos have taken on a whole new context in light of the allegations against Diddy. People are speculating that Bieber might have been exposed to inappropriate situations or even been a victim of grooming. And when you look at how Bieber's career and personal life unfolded, with struggles with substance abuse, mental health issues, and periods of erratic behavior, it's hard not to wonder if there's a connection. In one particularly disturbing clip that resurfaces from 2021, Diddy is seen patting down Bieber's chest in what many interpret as checking for a wire. Y'all, that's not normal behavior. That's the kind of paranoid move you'd expect from someone with something serious to hide. However, it's important to note that despite all the speculation and concern, Bieber has not come forward as a victim. In fact, on May 15th, 2025, in the midst of Diddy's trial, Bieber's representatives issued a statement to multiple outlets, including TMZ, People, and E! News, addressing the rumors head-on. Although Justin is not among Sean Combs' victims, there are individuals who were genuinely harmed by him. Shifting focus away from this reality detracts from the justice these victims rightfully deserve. Sources close to Bieber told TMZ that his public appearances with Combs were performative, and that he was closer to Combs' sons than to Combs himself. They explicitly denied any abuse, sexual or otherwise. But here's where things get juicy and why Diddy is fuming behind bars. Even though Bieber isn't claiming to be a victim, his statement is actually a major blow to Diddy. By acknowledging that there are victims who deserve justice, he's essentially siding with people like Cassie. He's saying, I believe these women. And for someone with Bieber's enormous platform and influence, that's a huge statement. Think about it. Bieber could have stayed silent. He could have issued a vague statement wishing Diddy well during his challenging time or some other PR nonsense. But instead, he specifically acknowledged the victims and implicitly supported their pursuit of justice. That's basically Bieber saying, I believe Cassie, without naming her directly. And y'all know Diddy is seething about this. His former mentee, someone he once claimed custody of for a weekend, is now indirectly supporting the prosecution's case against him. It's a betrayal of the highest order in Diddy's mind, and sources say he feels completely abandoned by the industry figures he once considered allies. According to insiders, Bieber has been completely disgusted by the allegations against Diddy and advised to stay as far away as possible from anything related to him. He's also reportedly been struggling mentally with processing these revelations, especially given their past association. Remember, this isn't just about Bieber distancing himself from Diddy. It's about him actively acknowledging the victim's claims as valid, which is essentially supporting Cassie's testimony by extension. And with the kind of evidence Cassie has brought to the table, including that horrific hotel video and the detailed testimony about years of abuse, Diddy can see the writing on the wall. His former allies are jumping ship. But Bieber isn't the only person from Diddy's past who's been suspiciously quiet or subtly distancing themselves. It seems like everyone who was once in Diddy's inner circle is doing their best to avoid any association with him now. Even Usher, who was mentored by Diddy in the 90s and later introduced Bieber to him, has been notably quiet about the whole situation. Speaking of Usher, let's not forget some of the comments he's made in the past about his time with Diddy. In a 2016 interview with Howard Stern, Usher described witnessing very curious things at Diddy's home when he lived there at age 15. When Stern asked if he'd let his own kid go to a Puffy camp, Usher didn't hesitate. Hell no. It makes you wonder what Usher might have witnessed during his time with Diddy, and whether Bieber had similar experiences. The parallels between their situations, both young artists mentored by Diddy at vulnerable ages, are hard to ignore. But what's particularly fascinating about Bieber's statement is the timing. He waited until Cassie's testimony was well underway before breaking his silence. It's almost as if he wanted to see how strong the case against Diddy was before picking a side. And after 4 days of Cassie's devastating testimony, corroborated by other witnesses and physical evidence, Bieber made his choice, and it wasn't to stand with Diddy. This strategic timing suggests that Bieber is carefully calculating his moves. He doesn't want to be seen as a victim himself, perhaps to protect his own mental health and avoid the scrutiny that would come with such a claim. But he also doesn't want to be on the wrong side of history by supporting an alleged abuser. So he threads the needle by acknowledging other victims while distancing himself from any personal victimhood. It's a smart move, but one that has undoubtedly left Diddy feeling betrayed. After all, Diddy once boasted about his influence over young artists like Bieber and Usher. Now those same artists are either speaking out against him or notably silent in his time of need. But the Bieber connection is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. This case extends beyond just Cassie and Bieber, with other alleged victims coming forward and the music industry's culture of silence finally beginning to crack. The fallout and future. Let's start by addressing something important. Cassie Ventura is not alone. Since her initial lawsuit in November 2023, over 70 sexual assault lawsuits have been filed against Diddy, involving more than 100 accusers. This isn't one isolated incident or relationship. We're talking about an alleged pattern of behavior spanning decades. Among those who have come forward with their own lawsuits are Dawn Richard, who we mentioned earlier also testified at the trial, April Lamprose, Crystal McKinney, Brianna Bongolan, and Rodney Lil Rod Jones. Each of these individuals has their own story of alleged abuse, coercion, or exploitation at the hands of Diddy. Let's take Dawn Richard, for example. She filed a lawsuit in September 2024, alleging sexual abuse and manipulation by Combs. As a former member of Danity Kane and Diddy Dirty Money, she claims to have witnessed Diddy's abusive behavior not only toward Cassie, but also toward Kim Porter, his late ex-partner. Then there's Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a former producer for Combs, who filed a lawsuit in February 2024 alleging sexual assault and coercion. Jones claimed Diddy groped him and forced him into intimate situations, including one allegedly involving actor Cuba Gooding Jr. on Diddy's yacht. Jones also alleges that he wasn't properly compensated for his work on the Love album. But it's not just the lawsuits that are piling up. We're also seeing more and more disturbing accounts from witnesses. In a recent interview, a witness named Courtney Burgess claims he was in possession of flash drives that belonged to the late Kim Porter, containing compromising videos from Diddy's freak-offs and parties.
And if you follow this story, you'll know that Kim Porter is Diddy's ex-girlfriend and the mother of 4 of his kids. On those drives, the witness says 8 videos featured 8 celebrities at Diddy freak-offs or parties, and that 6 were males, 2 were females. The drive also included a manuscript of an alleged Kim Porter memoir, a memoir that her 4 kids insist is fake.
This witness claims that the videos featured 8 celebrities, 6 males and 2 females, and that 2 to 3 of them appeared to be minors. All of them, according to Burgess, appeared to be intoxicated. Now, I want to emphasize that these claims haven't been independently verified, but the fact that this person testified before a federal grand jury suggests the authorities are taking these allegations seriously. But perhaps the most disturbing aspect of all this is how long it's been allowed to continue. Why did it take until 2023 for these allegations to come to light in a major way? The answer lies in the culture of silence that has long pervaded the music industry. As one anonymous drug dealer told the New York Post in a recent article, after witnessing some questionable activities at one of Diddy's Hamptons parties, they immediately lost respect for certain rappers, but kept quiet about what they saw. That's the power of fear and intimidation at work. People afraid to speak out against someone with so much influence. Even more telling are the comments from celebrities who tried to warn us about Diddy years ago. In a 2016 Howard Stern interview, Usher described witnessing very curious things at Diddy's home, but his cryptic language shows how afraid people were to speak directly about what they saw. So where does this all leave us now? With Cassie's powerful testimony, Bieber's indirect support of victims, and the mountain of other allegations piling up, the future is looking grim for Diddy. Let's break down what's currently happening and what might come next. As of May 17, 2025, the trial is in its second week. The prosecution is still building its case, with Cassie's testimony having concluded on May 16. Dawn Richard and Homeland Security agent Yasin Binda have also testified, providing further evidence against Diddy. The prosecution is expected to call additional alleged victims to testify in the coming weeks, referred to as Victim 2, Victim 3, and possibly Victim 4 to protect their identities. However, there are some concerns about the availability of Victim 3, as prosecutors have reportedly struggled to contact their lawyer. After the prosecution rests its case, which could take several more weeks, the defense will present their side. Diddy's defense team, led by attorneys Mark Agnifilo, Tenny Garagos, and Brian Steele, is arguing that the freak-offs were consensual acts within a swinger's lifestyle, and that Diddy's relationships involved mutual affection, not coercion. But with the overwhelming evidence being presented, including that damning surveillance video from 2016, it's hard to see how Diddy can wriggle out of this one. If convicted, he faces up to life in prison, with a mandatory minimum of 15 years for the sex trafficking charges. The trial is expected to last approximately 2 months, potentially concluding in July 2025. But regardless of the verdict, the damage to Diddy's reputation and legacy is already done. The man who once ruled the hip-hop industry is now a pariah, with former friends and associates distancing themselves faster than rats from a sinking ship. The sheer number of alleged victims coming forward, over 120 accusers according to attorney Tony Busby, suggests that this isn't just one bad apple. It's an industry-wide problem that has been swept under the rug for decades. Some commentators have compared Diddy to other high-profile cases like Harvey Weinstein or Jeffrey Epstein, pointing to the role of enablers and a culture of silence. As DJ Academics noted in a recent discussion,
well, the federal prosecution team is all white women. led by the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey. So, this is kind of a hardcore situation here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Diddy has been helped in the last few months, inadvertently by Jay-Z and by even some of the era and, the climate. I think this was the start of a new Me Too era when Diddy got taken down. And the public consensus was like, this guy's as guilty as it could be. And then we just start seeing so many allegations about everybody.
And that's what makes this case so powerful. It's not just about bringing down a powerful abuser. It's about reclaiming one's voice and agency after years of silencing. Cassie's willingness to speak her truth, despite the enormous pressure and scrutiny, sends a powerful message to other survivors. You don't have to remain silent. The impact of her testimony extends far beyond this one case. By coming forward, Cassie has helped crack open the culture of silence that has protected abusers in the music industry for decades. She's given other victims the courage to speak out, to say "me too," and to demand accountability. For Bieber, while he hasn't come forward as a victim himself, his statement acknowledging the legitimacy of other victims' claims is significant. It's a subtle but powerful show of support for Cassie and others who have spoken out against Diddy. And for someone with Bieber's platform and influence, that support matters. As the trial continues, we'll undoubtedly learn more disturbing details about Diddy's alleged behavior. The prosecution still has more witnesses to call, and there's likely more evidence yet to be presented. But regardless of the final verdict, the cultural shift has already begun, because at the end of the day, that's how real change happens. The pressure is mounting, and it seems Diddy will be locked up forever. If you thought Diddy's arrest was the beginning of his downfall, it gets even worse. And now, his dead ex-girlfriend has released receipts in a new book that will shock the industry. From threesomes with Tupac to sleeping with YK, Osiris, and Justin Bieber, get ready for a wild ride. P. Diddy's life behind bars. Diddy's luck seems to have run out because he has been denied bail twice, as prosecutors argue he was a serious flight risk. According to news outlets, Diddy's lawyers had first proposed a bail package that included his $48 million home in Miami, his private jet, and his kids' passports. He would also have restricted female visitors apart from his mother, his daughters, and his daughters' mothers. His lawyers tried to get him out of jail a second time, this time proposing a $50 million bail package co-signed by Mr. Diddy, his mother, and other family members, home detention, surrender of his passport, weekly drug test, and a visitor log that would be submitted to pretrial services each night. However, the judge revealed that he was concerned Diddy would obstruct justice and tamper with witnesses. Now, Diddy is being held at the infamous Metropolitan Detention Center, or the MDC. Coincidentally, R. Kelly was also held in the same prison. The facility, in the heart of Brooklyn, New York, was designed to house inmates, mainly those awaiting trial or sentencing. However, over the years, it has gained a notorious reputation for its deplorable conditions and the high-profile inmates who have been detained within its walls. Diddy's legal team has been vocal about the conditions at the Brooklyn facility and described the conditions as horrific and not fit for pretrial detention. The MDC has earned its name, Hell on Earth, due to the shocking conditions and harrowing experiences faced by its inmates. The facility's environment is a breeding ground for despair, violence, and neglect, leading to numerous suicides and murders. In 2019, a power outage left inmates without heat, light, or hot water for days during one of the coldest winters in recent memory. The temperature inside the cells reportedly dropped to near freezing levels, forcing inmates to wrap themselves head to toe in towels and blankets. The crisis came to a head with protesters gathering outside the facility, where inmates banged on the jail's walls and flashed nightlights, pleading for help. The power outage was not an isolated incident. Reports of rat infestations, mold, and lack of access to clean drinking water are common. Violence is another pervasive issue within MDC. Inmates live in constant fear of attacks from fellow detainees and even correctional officers. The facility's environment is also conducive to mental health crises, leading to a disturbingly high number of suicides. And reports from the jail say that the Bad Boy Records founder has now been placed on suicide watch. According to reports, the mogul's attorneys have requested that their client be transferred to a facility in Essex County in New Jersey, arguing he might be unsafe at the hands of other inmates in the Metropolitan Detention Center. Fans believe that the rapper's huge celebrity status and the allegations of violence against women make him a very attractive target for assault. In the subculture of jails and prisons, delivering a hit on someone like Diddy would be considered a badge of honor. This reality adds another layer of danger to his already precarious situation. The constant threat of violence and the need to remain vigilant at all times are new and terrifying aspects of Diddy's life. On top of all that, the rapper won't have access to the internet, and any outside recreational time will be spent in an enclosed area, as his jail cell will be monitored through CCTV for 24 hours every day. While some people sympathize with Diddy's current situation, many others believe he is getting exactly what he deserves. Diddy has been trending for months after people close to him started speaking out about his disgusting behavior. From former lovers to former employees, Diddy's victims have publicly taken a stand and called him out. And now, even his dead victims are speaking out against his evil actions from the grave. A book that claims to be one of Diddy's dead ex-lovers' memoirs has been trending and has already become a bestseller. The secrets that have been revealed in the book are shocking. The Dead Expose Diddy. Kim Porter was a name that resonated in the entertainment industry long before her tragic passing in 2018. Born in Columbus, Georgia in 1970, Kim began her career as a model and actress, gracing the covers of magazines and appearing in television shows and films. However, it was her high-profile relationship with Sean Diddy Combs that catapulted her into the limelight. And now, an alleged memoir by Kim Porter has surfaced, bringing serious claims about the rapper to light following his arrest on Monday on trafficking charges. Titled Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side, the tell-all book, reportedly comprised of diary entries, details shocking claims about Diddy's personal life, including accusations of child abuse, infidelity, and possession of tapes involving young people. Kim's memoir paints a harrowing picture of her life with Diddy. She describes discovering videotapes in Diddy's bedroom vault that showed him having with underage boys he was managing. One of these tapes allegedly involves an 18-year-old pop star who later became famous. There's speculation that it could be Justin Bieber or YK Osiris. The YK Osiris and Diddy rumor started in 2021 after their alleged trip to Jamaica.
YK Osiris in Jamaica with his alleged boo Diddy.
Fans have dissected every social media post and every interaction, searching for clues that might shed light on the truth. At the time, YK first reshared Diddy's shirtless photo, who was enjoying time in Jamaica. He later posted a photo showing fans that he was also enjoying time in the Caribbean country. What was even more peculiar was that he shared a photo of himself getting a massage and captioned it, listening to that Diddy B2K, eating that good fruit in that beautiful weather. YK was confronted in interviews about his relationship with Diddy and the rumor that he was his new boy toy. According to YK, he was in Jamaica on vacation with a woman, and although Diddy was also on the island, they weren't together.
Was you in Jamaica with Diddy though?
He said yeah.
No. Oh, okay.
I was with a shawty.
All right, but Diddy was there.
No, he was a whole other different.
Oh, so they just made this up?
Yeah, they made it up, yeah.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, he was in a whole other different area.
The Diddy and Justin Bieber rumor has been going on for a while and started in 2009 when Justin was 16 years old. Videos of Diddy giving the teen expensive gifts, like a Ferrari, have always raised eyebrows. And according to singer Jaguar Wright, Diddy used Usher to groom Justin for him. Kim was so shocked by what she saw that she made copies of the tapes to protect herself in case she ever decided to leave Diddy. The book's publisher, Chris Todd, claims that he was offered access to these tapes, including one involving a teenage pop star. He alleges that Kim and Diddy's friends who gave him the memoir also had copies of the tapes, and that there have been attempts to sell them to Hollywood documentary producers. The memoir also delves into the alleged orgies hosted by Diddy. According to Kim, these parties were nothing more than elaborate orgies, and everyone wanted in. She claimed that they not only had threesomes, but also swapped partners. Kim detailed encounters with other celebrities, including a notable married woman and rapper Tupac Shakur. Kim wrote, "I got to do things with Sean I would never have been able to do with a straight man. I woke up and left the bedroom where I was, and Sean happened to be coming out of the bedroom with a chart-topping rapper and the woman's husband." The memoir doesn't stop there. It also details disturbing incidents of physical abuse that Diddy inflicted on Kim. While Diddy's history of violence, including a leaked clip of him physically assaulting his ex-partner Cassie Ventura, makes these allegations more credible, the memoir provides specific accounts of the abuse. Kim describes multiple instances of violence, including the first time Diddy hit her after she refused to use a strap-on on him. She also recounts an alleged incident at her apartment where Diddy forcefully slammed her to the ground and threatened her with a gun, saying, "You're mine. You don't have a choice in that now. I can't live without you." Former Bad Boy rapper Mark Curry, the author of the revealing expose Dancing with the Devil, also revealed Diddy's violent behavior in the past. He claims that during a heated altercation on a yacht, Diddy broke Kim Porter's nose. The incident, according to Curry, was a chilling display of Diddy's explosive temper and disregard for the well-being of others.
They tried to make it seem like she slipped and fell. She slipped and fell and broke her nose. Nah, the truth was she slipped and fell and landed on his fist.
These revelations have raised further questions about the circumstances surrounding Diddy's recent arrest on sex trafficking charges. Just days before his indictment, Chris Todd published Kim's memoir, adding fuel to the fire. The timing of the book's release has led many to speculate about the connection between the memoir's allegations and Diddy's legal troubles. One of Kim Porter's closest friends, Ebony Electra, has recently come out to deny the book's contents. According to Electra, Kim didn't leave behind any manuscripts and that everything in the memoir was a lie. She took to her Instagram where she said, "Now it's getting out of hand. There is no book. There never was." Several people continue to speak about and spread blatant lies regarding this mystery manuscript as if it were true. People, it's not. Kim would never do such a thing, and that's the honest to God truth. God knows the truth, and so does she. However, the book's co-author has revealed that the source of the material was a close friend of Diddy and Kim Porter. "I was given the memoir, 60 pages. I was also given a photo and told if I wanted access to the Diddy sex tapes, I could have that also. I know the celebrity source pretty well. I know how close they were to Kim and Diddy and all the people in the hip-hop community," he said. However, Kim Porter is not the only one close to Diddy who has decided to spill the beans. Many other celebrities have come out and exposed the Bad Boy Records executive. Celebrities exposed Diddy. With Diddy in a legal firestorm, his rivals have been having a field day mocking him, and 50 Cent didn't let this chance slip through his fingers. When Diddy was sued by his ex-lover Cassie Ventura for all sorts of abuse, 50 Cent was there to take a dig at his nemesis. He took to Instagram to post a photo with the caption, "Damn, brother love, brother love, brother love, you out here looking crazy as a motherfucker." However, he did not stop there. 50 Cent was about to have a field day with Diddy and his legal troubles. Amid all these allegations, 50 Cent's mockery persisted as he once again revealed that he was working on a documentary involving Diddy. It was reported that 50 Cent's G-Unit Films and Television Company was working on a documentary about his rap adversary Diddy and the shocking allegations of abuse by his ex-girlfriend Cassie and others. A 50 Cent and G-Unit Film and TV representative confirmed the documentary was in development. In a statement, they said, "The untitled Diddy documentary is in development through G-Unit Film and Television, with Curtis's 50 Cent Jackson serving as executive producer. Proceeds from this documentary that G-Unit Film and Television receives will go to victims of sexual assault and rape." Before landing the upcoming documentary, 50 got approval from his Instagram followers, pitching a docu-series titled Surviving P. Diddy, Diddy Do It or Not, similar to Lifetime's Surviving R. Kelly about the disgraced R&B singer-songwriter. 50 Cent even advised Diddy to declare bankruptcy because he had all the receipts against him. "Rapper? I thought Diddy was a billionaire music mogul. If he's smart, he will file bankruptcy now. Anyone with real money knows why I'm saying this. I'm the best producer for the job, guys. Here come the receipts," 50 Cent wrote. The rapper also took to his Instagram to post a snippet of the interrogation where the suspect made some pretty wild claims and captioned it, "Okay, this documentary is going to be crazy. I don't know what else to say. What the fuck was going on? Wait, this has to be fact-checked to be fair." The suspect, who was later identified as Jonathan Oddie, made some pretty wild claims during the interrogation. He revealed that Diddy, Rick Ross, and DJ Khaled were not straight men.
Both Diddy and Ross and Khaled, they're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross, and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They all gay?
Yeah.
The news of the documentary has shocked the entertainment industry, and multiple networks and streaming services have been vying for the rights to the series. The bidding war has been intense, with each platform eager to secure what is sure to be a highly controversial and widely watched documentary. In the end, Netflix has emerged victorious, securing the rights to the documentary after a massive bidding war. The exact amount Netflix paid for the series has not been disclosed, but it is rumored to be a substantial sum. 50 Cent confirmed the deal on Instagram, writing, "Netflix wins the bidding war, but if more victims keep coming out, I'm gonna need more episodes." 50 Cent isn't the only celebrity exposing Diddy. A model named Crystal McKinney also filed a lawsuit against Diddy in May, accusing him of drugging and sexually assaulting her over 20 years ago. This explosive allegation adds to a growing list of accusations against the hip-hop mogul, who has been embroiled in multiple lawsuits and a federal criminal indictment. In 2003, McKinney attended a men's fashion week event at Cipriani downtown in Manhattan. It was here that she met Sean Diddy Combs. According to McKinney, Diddy approached her and expressed his belief in her potential, telling her that she was going to make it big one day and promising to help her career. For a young model, such words from a powerful figure like Diddy were both flattering and promising. This encounter led to an invitation to Diddy's New York City studio, an opportunity McKinney believed could be a significant step forward in her career. However, what was supposed to be a promising opportunity quickly turned into a nightmare. McKinney alleges that upon arriving at Diddy's studio, one of his his associates offered her a joint of marijuana, claiming it was unlike any weed she had ever tried before. Trusting the situation, McKinney accepted the joint. She later realized that the joint had been laced with a narcotic or other intoxicating substance, a detail that would become a crucial part of her lawsuit. As the night progressed, McKinney claims that Diddy pressured her to smoke more and drink alcohol despite her already severe intoxication. The situation escalated when Diddy, seeing her vulnerable state, physically led her to the bathroom. According to the lawsuit, it was in this bathroom that Diddy forced McKinney to perform a sex act. The trauma of this alleged assault left McKinney dazed and disoriented. She passed out in Diddy's studio and later woke up in a taxi, realizing she had been sexually assaulted. McKinney's lawsuit, filed in federal court in New York City, provides a detailed account of the events of that night. She claims that after the alleged assault, she saved the clothes she was wearing in a plastic bag, potentially preserving crucial evidence. The lawsuit also describes the devastating impact the incident had on her life and career. McKinney states that her modeling opportunities dried up, and she believes Diddy blackballed her in the industry, effectively ending her career before it could truly begin. Even more shocking is that this isn't the first time Diddy has done this. He's been drugging and assaulting women since the early 1990s. Diddy's victims come forward. The first woman who Diddy drugged and assaulted was Joy Dickerson Neal, who filed a lawsuit in November 2023. Joy Dickerson Neal was part of the same social circle as Diddy and even appeared in the music video for Straight From The Soul by Finesse and Cinquis together. Despite Diddy's persistent advances, Joy consistently rejected him, maintaining a professional distance. However, Joy reluctantly agreed to an early dinner with Diddy on January 3, 1991. After dining, Diddy insisted that Joy accompany him as he attended to a few things in the city. Reluctantly, she agreed, getting into his car, a decision that would haunt her for years. As they drove through the city, Diddy produced a blunt and asked Joy to take a hit. Feeling pressured and unsure of how to refuse, she reluctantly agreed. From that point on, her memory becomes hazy, a blur of fragmented images and sensations. Joy alleges that Diddy had intentionally drugged her, leaving her in a physical state where she could not independently stand or walk. Diddy drove to a place he was staying, where the night took an even darker turn. Joy alleges that it was here, in a place where she should have felt safe, that Diddy sexually assaulted her. However, the nightmare was far from over. Joy soon discovered that Diddy had secretly recorded the gay incident without her knowledge or consent. Devontae Swing, a mutual friend, allegedly told her that Diddy had shown him the tape. The worst part is that Diddy showed everyone the tape, according to Devontae. While Joy's encounter with Diddy was horrible, one woman can count herself lucky because her encounter with the music mogul didn't end up with assault. This is none other than Diddy's former chef, Cindy Rueda. Rueda's lawsuit against Diddy was packed with shocking allegations, including claims of a hostile work environment, wrongful termination, and sexual harassment. Rueda, hired as a chef for Diddy in 2015, didn't know what she was getting herself into. She alleged that she was exposed to a harassing and hostile atmosphere. One particularly shocking incident occurred in August 2015. Rueda arrived late to work due to traffic, only to be met with an obscenity from Diddy, who was with Gina Huyen. Rueda apologized and was immediately instructed to prepare breakfast and serve it in Diddy's bedroom. What happened next is nothing short of unbelievable. Rueda claims that when she entered Diddy's bedroom to set up the meal, she found him and Gina engaging in sexual activity. This wasn't an isolated incident. Rueda alleged that she was regularly summoned to prepare and serve food to Diddy and his guests while they were engaged in or immediately following sexual activity. On some occasions, she claims, Diddy was naked and made comments about his body, asking Rueda if she was attracted to or liked his naked body. She sued Diddy on several grounds, including wrongful termination and sexual harassment. A Los Angeles Superior Court judge sent the case to arbitration in August 2017. The lawsuit was eventually settled out of court, but the settlement terms were not disclosed. Although Diddy got away with his crime, he may not be so lucky this time around, and it looks like he won't be going down alone. His buddies in the industry, from Jay-Z to Chris Brown, are terrified of what's coming because the evidence against them is overwhelming. Celebs who will go down with Diddy. When Diddy was arrested, there was wide speculation that Jay-Z would also be implicated in his crimes, and the evidence that netizens have unearthed shows that Jay-Z may have known and even taken part in Diddy's freak-offs. Hours after Diddy was put in cuffs, these photos featuring Jay-Z, Diddy, J-Lo, and Aaliyah went viral. Aaliyah was a household name before she tragically and mysteriously died in a plane crash in 2001. However, she was also famous for her marriage to Diddy and Jay-Z's industry buddy R. Kelly. In 1994, when R. Kelly was 27, he secretly married the 15-year-old singer Aaliyah. However, it was later uncovered that Aaliyah had lied about her age on the wedding certificate, listing herself as 18. The marriage was annulled in February 1995. but the scandal stained Kelly's reputation. Despite knowing that his friend R. Kelly had taken advantage of Aaliyah, Jay-Z still tried to get with her. And just like R. Kelly, Jay-Z has also been caught up in rumors of getting with underage girls. And one rumor that has caught on is his affair with Foxy Brown. Jay-Z's controversial relationship with Foxy Brown, a rising star in the music industry, started when she was just 16 years old and he was 27. The disturbing nature of this relationship is further compounded by reports that Jay-Z paid Foxy Brown a significant amount of money to keep their relationship a secret. This revelation was later confirmed by Jay-Z's longtime friend and former business partner Dame Dash, who got defensive when asked about Jay and Foxy's affair.
At what age was Foxy Brown signed?
I wasn't paying attention to Foxy Brown.
But that's.
I didn't sign Foxy Brown.
I know
Stop
you.
putting
I'm
me in
just
that.
asking a
You keep asking
question.
because I'm on the block. I'm responsible for everybody.
You the boss.
Yo, don't beat around the bush. Say what you want.
I'm just
What do you mean by that question?
I was just asking.
What are you insinuating?
I'm
when
not
you ask me about
insinuating. I just
Foxy
asked.
Brown?
Despite Dame Dash being defensive about the Foxy Brown question, Nick went ahead and spoke his mind and blew the scandal wide open.
Shoot,
I thought Foxy was like 16. That's all I'm saying.
But Jay-Z isn't the only one of Diddy's friends who might go down for messing with underage girls. Chris Brown is next in line. First, Chris Brown was named in the now famous Lil Rod lawsuit against Diddy, and the allegations were shocking. Turns out Chris was present at Diddy's freak-offs and was messing with underage girls. Chris Brown's story gets even more complicated after Diddy's arrest because a woman came forward with damning allegations. A woman took to social media to reveal that she was sexually assaulted by Sage the Gemini at Chris Brown's house when she was 18.
I was raped at Chris Brown's house by his friend, Sage the Gemini. This happened when I was 18 years old. I'm 26 now.
The comment section seems divided about the allegations. However, this isn't Chris Brown's first involvement in such a case. A lawsuit filed in 2022 in a Los Angeles County court accused Brown of drugging and raping a woman on a yacht in Miami in late December 2020. It all started when Jane Doe was on FaceTime with a friend, discussing her music career and future prospects. During this call, something unexpected happened. Chris Brown took her friend's phone and introduced himself. Chris invited her to Diddy's house, which she accepted. Upon arriving at Diddy's sprawling estate, she was directed to a yacht docked on the property where she met Chris. He offered her a drink, which she accepted. As they continued their conversation, Brown handed her a second drink. At this point, Jane Doe began to feel a sudden, unexplained change in her consciousness. According to the lawsuit, she felt disoriented, physically unstable, and started to fall in and out of sleep. Chris led her down a corridor and into a bedroom. In the bedroom, Brown allegedly threw Jane Doe onto the bed, removed her bikini bottoms, and started kissing her. Despite her mumbled pleas for him to stop, Brown ignored her. The lawsuit alleges that he raped her while she was in a half-asleep, drugged state. With all the evidence out there, Diddy is about to get locked up for a long time. And as we wait for his trial to start, click on the boxes playing on your screen to watch similar content.